Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you have enjoyed our previous videos by Mathematics to TAN 90, and I'm sure you might have found those videos helpful. So today we are back with another video for you. In this video we will cover Mathematics D2 Topic 1 Practice Now 4 to 5. You can watch the other Practice Now questions in my previous videos. So let's start with Practice Now 4. So let's read this question. The total monthly cost $C of running a kindergarten consists of a fixed amount of $5,000 and a variable amount which depends on the enrollment. So there are two amounts which they are talking about, and your total amount, which is $C, it consists of both these amounts. That means there is one fixed amount which you have to pay, and then there is one variable amount which actually depends with each child. So when you enroll one more child, the monthly cost will increase by $41. Now here we can write it as that my total cost is equal to my fixed cost plus my variable cost. We can say that because yes, two costs are involved in my total monthly cost. Now let's read out my question, what they are asking me to do. If the enrollment is 200, find the total monthly cost of running the kingdom. So I just said that my total cost consists of two things, that is my fixed cost plus my variable cost. Now we know this fixed cost. This fixed cost is 5,000. If I have 100 children, if I have 200 children in that kindergarten, doesn't matter. If I have 0 children, doesn't matter. I need to pay my fixed cost. Is that right? Now let's see what about the variable cost. So fixed cost will be 5,000. Because why am I calling it fixed cost? It is not changing with the number of children. Now how will I write about my variable cost? Now my variable cost, the enrollment is 200. So what will my variable cost be? For each child it is 41. So for 200 children it will be 200 multiplied by 41. For one child it is $41, and for 200 children it will be 200 multiplied by 41. Alright, now let's work this out. Okay, so 200 multiplied by 41, that gives us 8,200. So we will write 5,000 plus 8,200, and then this will equal to 13,200. So this is our answer. So $13,200 will be the total cost. Alright, let's move to the next part of this question. So the next part says, if the total monthly cost of running the kindergarten is 20,580, calculate the number of children enrolled in the kindergarten. Now if we look over here, we need to find the total cost here. We were given how many children were enrolled and we were finding the total cost. What is the difference here? Can you guess? Yes, here we are given the total cost and we need to find the number of children enrolled. So let's work this out. So again we will use the same way. Total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Now we know our total cost, that is 20,580, which equals fixed cost. Now our fixed cost will remain same. I told you no matter how many children, our fixed cost will always remain same. So what is our fixed cost? Yes, it is 5,000. So we will write this 5,000 over here. Now what we don't know is our variable cost. Why? Because variable cost is made up of two things. So for one child, the cost is $41. So for many childs, the cost will increase with each number of child. So here, what I did was that I multiplied the number of children with the cost. Now here, I do not have the number of children. So let's keep my number of children as x. So I can say plus x multiplied by 41. Now again, why am I multiplying it by 41? Because $41 is the cost for one child. Now let's work the value of x out, and that will be our answer. So first of all, we will subtract both sides by 5,000 so that we can get rid of this 5,000 from this side. This will help us in isolating this x. Okay, so negative 5,000 on this side. So positive 5,000 and negative 5,000, this will cancel out. And 20,580 minus 5,000 will give us the answer. That is 15,580 equals 41x. Now in order to remove this 41, we will divide both the sides with 41. Let's divide. Okay. So now 15,580 divided by 41. What is the answer, children? The answer is 380. So 380 is our value of x, because what is 41 divided by 41? It gives us 1, so only x is left. So 380 children were enrolled. Now let's see the next part. So the next part says, write down a formula connecting C and N, where N is the number of children enrolled in the kindergarten. Now this should be very easy after doing the first two parts. Now in the first part, we wrote the formula, and if you notice something, the formula itself says total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Now the only thing to add is this N, where N is the number of children. Now, if we see here, what are the number of children? So 200 over here, that is the number of children. So just in place of this 200, I need to put N. Rest everything will remain the same. Why? Because the fixed cost won't change, and $41 is also the cost of one child. So that cost is also not changing. It is changing with the number of children. The total variable cost is changing with the number of children, but this cost is actually not changing, right? This is the same. So we can easily make the formula. So let's write total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Now our fixed cost is 5,000 plus the variable cost. We don't know the variable cost because it is changing with each child. But can you guess what we know? Yes, we know that N is the number of children. So we can write N over here, and then we know that for each child the cost is $41. Yes, it is $41. So we will write $41 over here, and we need to represent our total cost as capital C. So let's write this. C equals 5,000 plus N 41. So our equation is complete. Now let's look at the next part. Okay, so our next part says draw the graph of C against D. So now we already have this equation. C equals 41N plus 5,000. Now we need to make the graph with the help of this equation of C against D. Now we will take one value. we will take very easy values. So let's take n equals 0. So at n equals 0, 41 multiplied by 0 will become 0 plus 5000. So n equals 0, 41 multiplied by 0 plus 5000. So 41 multiplied by 0 is 0. 0 plus 5000 will give us 5000. So at n equals 0, our C will be 5000. So we will plot one point here. What about the next point? We can take any value of n. So let's say we take n as 500. So 41 multiplied by 500 plus 5000. This is 25,500. So our C value over here is 25,500. So we can easily plot the graph with these 2 points. Now one thing to notice is that this graph is not passing from the origin. And what did I tell you all in my last video? Yes, I told you that all quantities which are directly proportional to each other, their graph must pass from the origin. So in this case, this was not a problem of direct proportion. That means D is not directly proportional to C. And we can see that very clearly. Why? Because when my n was 0, C was already 5000. So it cannot pass from the origin. Okay, this should be n. I just corrected it. So this is n. Alright, so we are done with this problem. Now let's come to the practice now 5. Now this is very easy. For each of the following equations, state the 2 variables which are directly proportional to each other. So when are the two variables directly proportional to each other? When there is a constant k, there is a constant ratio with each other. So in part 1, can you identify the constant ratio? So if I write this equation as y upon x square, so my constant ratio will come out to be 6. And so x square is directly proportional to y. Now let's look at the second part. It says under root y equals x cube. Now in this case, if I divide the whole equation by x cube, my constant ratio will come out to be 1. And hence x cube is directly proportional to y. I hope you liked this video. Please share your feedback in comments. And please do tell me you need any other help. You can write it in the comments and we will reach out to you as soon as possible. Thank you.